In today's episode, anyone else feel like this job has made them a worse person? Built up stress rant. Coworker walked off, came back, and now thinks she's the queen. Coworker walked off, came back, and now thinks she's the queen update. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Anyone else feel like this job has made them a worse person? I know a lot of people from the outside, whether they used to work as a server or not, like to wax lyrical about how humbling it is to do so much work, but personally I don't feel particularly humbled or with a newfound respect for others. Instead, I'm bitter and jaded. After years of this, I find myself with a short fuse. Every time I hear the phone blasting or hear the door open, I no longer see a customer to help or an opportunity to get a big tip, I just see red. Customers are no longer my meal ticket, they are a constant obstacle to me getting anything done, and sometimes I start to resent people putting the burden of feeding themselves on me, constantly asking me stupid crap and stopping me from doing anything on my progressively longer and longer to-do list. A few years in, I even started to find myself standing up for all my meals, because I've been Pavlov's dog, trained into believing that if I sit down to enjoy my meal, some hole is going to show up with his extended familial clan, and my already rushed break will be swiftly ended. I feel like I constantly have to consciously stifle bad thoughts for fear of becoming a worse person. I've already told my bosses that this will be my last year. No way am I sticking around for another gruesome holiday or snowbird season. Sometimes I think, oh, maybe I shouldn't leave, it's not that bad, but then find myself staring at a wall thinking about how liberating it will be to just finally walk out and not have any of this crap be my problem. I needed to vent pretty bad. Anyone else feel like they've gotten worse from this industry? Built up stress rant. I work at a Japanese barbecue buffet. All self-serve besides rice, drinks, and dessert. We don't take reservations, but do a wait list on a first-call, first-serve basis to maximize our seating every night since the restaurant is small. I host either Friday or Saturday night. This includes taking all phone calls and walk-ins, giving wait times, managing the flow of tables, directing traffic to each server and their area, and basic checking out tables at the front. Most nights I will miss a dozen phone calls because there is so much stuff I have to do all at once. If you go to a restaurant, don't complain that you tried to call but no one answered and give the host lip. I'm very aware I missed your call. Tonight we had a 3-hour wait and I eventually had to turn the phone off because I could not manage taking any more calls on top of all the *T I had to do. Basically, if you go to a restaurant, know that all hell is breaking loose where you don't see it, and I'm going to make a mistake. 2. Giving me attitude is not going to fix your problems or mine. 3. Please just freaking sit where your server takes you. Servers often work in sections, and by you being a baby and wanting a certain seat might be screwing a server over, or me, the host, trying to play Tetris with all these tables. Thank you for attending my TED Talk. Sincerely, a mad host having to do way too much for way too little on a President's Day weekend Saturday night. Coworker walked off, came back, and now thinks she's the queen. I know this doesn't really have anything to do with customers, but it's something that I'm 1000% sure wouldn't happen if I didn't work in a restaurant. I'm a host. My coworker, I'll call Jessica, works at night. I'm on mostly doubles, so typically I work from 9 and 2ish, then I come back 4 p.m. and work till 8 to 9. Jessica supposedly works 2 jobs and is always tired. So she sits on the wait bench where customers sit when they're waiting for a table and complains that she's tired and works 2 jobs. I cannot stand working with her. Every time you ask her to do anything, she sighs, rolls her eyes, and acts like it's this major inconvenience. Most managers tell her to stand up except one, John. Well, Monday night it was just her and I working, and she was sitting on the bench. It was like 7ish and I asked her to go bust since she had been sitting on the bench most of the night. I could have bust, but she would have stayed sitting on the bench. I've already came back to customers standing by the host stand waiting, and she's just sitting there. So when I asked her to go bus, she just sat there. I said, Jessica? Then she said I don't have to take this and got up, went and clocked out and left. So everyone asked what happened and I told them. Nobody really cared, some laughed, if anything we were happy because she's lazy. Well, earlier that shift she asked if she could be first cut instead of me, I told her no. I'm not sure if that's why she walked off, but they still let me leave at 8 so. I worked Tuesday day and night and Wednesday day. Wednesday night Jessica came walking in, clocked in and came to the host stand. We were like, I thought you quit. She said yeah. But John called and begged me to come back. Then all night she was making comments like you guys couldn't survive without me. John said you missed me. Wednesday she actually worked, so I thought maybe she changed, but yesterday it was the same sitting on the bench BS, except now she thinks she's something really special. I'm pretty sure her and John have something going on since he's the only manager that doesn't tell her to stand up and lets her just sit. She literally bats her eyelashes when talking to him, and it's weird. One time I forgot to do part of my sit work. My friends happened to be eating there, so I went and sat by them for a bit after I clocked out. John came up to me and said, you forgot to mop the bathroom. You might want to do it or Jessica will be pissed at you. I said I really don't care if Jessica is pissed at me. He said, well, I'll be pissed at you, how's that? Jessica never does all her sit work before closing, and I have to do it when I open. I know what I said wasn't great, but he should have just said, hey, you forgot to mop, instead of acting like I care if Jessica is mad at me. I don't. This just really pisses me off. There's 3 to 4 other hosts and we all think it's ridiculous that he begged her to come back. Now not only do we have a lazy coworker, but one that thinks she's the best thing. I called my friend that owns his own restaurant today just to vent. He said he could hire me as a day host, but it would be less hours than I have now. I'm tempted to take it. Since I'm the host that works the most at my current job, and me leaving would really screw them over, it'd be worth having less money for a little while, especially since Jessica can't work till 5 and everyone else is in school, so they wouldn't have anyone to work days. Sure, there's a staffing shortage, but begging someone that doesn't do much besides sit and claim they're tired to come back is stupid. We were better off on Tuesday night even though we were short-handed. Maybe I'm overreacting, but I'm the one stuck working with her most of the time. Co-worker walked off, came back, and now thinks she's the queen. Update. So I tried to just deal while I applied other places. Jessica was still annoying AF, but they hired a few more hosts, so I wasn't working with her much. I was stuck doing the brunt of the training of new people, which kid, because even when they completed training I was still supposed to train/babysit. Their benefit to being a trainer is getting paid more and a free meal, so if they finished training I wasn't getting anything out of it anymore. They hired this girl Pam. She always wandered off, or needed things repeated, like 10 times, not just twice. She supposedly finished her training, but managers were still on me about where she was and what she was doing for like 2 weeks after she was done training. It was annoying. Then last Saturday, we were busy. Pam kept disappearing or babbling about her personal life when I was trying to work, just being annoying. Her and I were the only 2 hosts, and I could feel myself reaching the end of my rope. More and more BS was dumped on me by the week, and John kept claiming I should do it to prove that I can serve. Somehow I became the unofficial leader of the host stand. Didn't come with a pay increase or anything, but I was doing all the training, and I was the one they came to when they were looking for someone or needed something done. Basically, I was the person getting yelled at for other people's screw-ups. So I was bussing, and a manager came and asked where Pam was for the umpteenth time that day. I said she should be by the door. Well, she's not. Where is she? That was when I knew I was done. I mean, not her, and I was standing there bussing. How should I know where she is? I said I don't know, I'm not her babysitter. What? I took a deep breath, set my bus rag down and said, you know what? I'm done. What do you mean done? I quit. Manager called the GM out, and I was pulled into the office. He tried talking me into staying and asked what the problem was. I was honest and said that I was sick of working my ass off, John holding being a server over my head, and generally getting nowhere, and when someone walks off, and is welcomed back with open arms 2 days later, it doesn't help matters. He blamed John and said that I need to be doing this, and that better to become a server, and he didn't know I wanted to serve, which is BS, because when he hired me I applied to be a server, and he said I needed to host first. I was so over it by that point, and I had a few interviews lined up, so I left. I'm starting a new job today, and taking a break from restaurants for a while. I probably shouldn't have walked off, but it wasn't worth it anymore.